Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, swept in St. Louis and you lost that streak. Well, you know how you turn things around? And you deal with losing your record like that? Well, you start a new one. Since then, the series with the St. Louis Cardinals, Baltimore Orioles have not lost a game. That's right. They went into Chicago and swept the Chicago White Sox in a 4-game series, which is not easy to do. Mostly because, it's 4 games in a row. So it's not only the probability of winning one game, but stacking them one after another. Let's get to the first game here. See, I'm on MassonSports.com. This was game 1 of the 4-game series. Thursday's game in Chicago. Guaranteed rate field. So weird looking at the names of some of these ballparks. It's fancy corporation in front of field or something. And it's like Oriole Park at Camden Yards. God, I hope it never changes. Looks like the ownership group is more in line with my way of thinking, and it doesn't look like it's going to, which is fantastic. Baltimore Orioles 8, Chicago White Sox 6. This one ended weird, strange way. White Sox trying to mount a comeback in the 9th inning. Had a few runners on, 2 runners on, one on first and second, and pop up into the infield with 1 out already. Gunnar Henderson moves from his shortstop position to field the ball. Has to navigate around the runner. Key there. Infield fly is called, so that's an out. And umpire calls the runner at second base out due to interference. Because no effort to get out of the way of the fielder, and Gunnar Henderson had to do all the work to get out of the way. That's the explanation we got. Yes, Henderson was still able to field the ball, and to a certain extent, an umpire could say, well, Henderson was still able to field the ball, so we'll waive off the interference. But after hearing a retired umpire explain it during the next game on the broadcast, the Apple TV broadcast, I can't remember the name of the retired umpire, basically said because there was no effort by the runner to get out of the way. Like if the runner had tried to get out of the way and then was just failed to be able to execute getting out of the way, and Henderson was able to catch the ball, then most likely they would have waved it off because it didn't affect the outcome of the play. Not that this did here, but again, the runner made no effort to get out of the way. We'll go into, I think it should be called. We here in Baltimore have a history of interferences not being called. So, sorry to all you people that feel like it shouldn't be called, especially because it's in Chicago against the White Sox. You feel they shouldn't call that because it ended the game. Well, if it was interference and it should be called, then guess what? I don't care where you're playing. You should call it. And you know what? Any interference call for the rest of time needs to go in favor of the Orioles, in my opinion. It's one of the most egregious interference calls, whether it was by a player or by a fan, in the history of Major League Baseball, in my personal opinion. And it wasn't called. People 30 years ago on the shitty-ass TVs we had back then could all see it. Okay. Probably shouldn't be ranting too much about that. I'm sure people out there say, get over it. It was 30 years ago. What do you mean, get over it? Get over it. Psst. Henderson hit and a run scored, walked 3 times. Wow. I feel like pitching to Gunnar Henderson this night, huh? Rutschman 2 hits, 3 RBIs. O'Hearn 0 was pinch hit for late. Again, the lefty-righty batter matchup. And it worked. almost flawlessly, because Hayes got 2 at bats, got 2 hits, and an RBI. The only way it could have worked out better if you'd have gotten more RBIs. Santander hit an RBI, run scored. Stowers, defensive replacement, late, did not receive an at bat. Westberg, Ofer, did work a walk. Kowser, Ofer, Mountcastle, 4 hits, all the way down here, and hitting 7th. I mean, it worked because he got 4 hits and scored twice. Mullins, 2 hits, also scored twice. Mateo, 1 hit, 3 RBIs. 2 runs scored, walked twice. Yeah, it was kind of strange. You see sometimes hitters at the plate, and it looks like they have no idea what was coming. Well, just the way I saw Mateo take that last swing, it looks like he knew exactly what pitch and its location before it even left the hand. Because he loaded up and he just crushed the shit out of it. Really good to see Mateo getting it done. And yeah, he's doing pretty good. Do you really want to move him out of the 9 spot? I don't know, man. He's doing so well down there. And you almost want somebody that is doing well hitting 9th if Henderson's going to lead off. Because otherwise, you have to get more people on in front of Henderson. But kind of, it's not exactly easy to, make your lineup every single day. I understand that. Mountcastle, Hayes both with doubles, Santander and Mateo with home runs. Mateo, Mullins, 2 stolen bases. Yeah, running all over Mr. Clevenger. Somewhat big of a leg kick. Westberg thought he could get a stolen base, but no, it was close, but he didn't get it. Grayson Rodriguez gets the start in this one, only able to go 5. Somewhat disappointing. They're up to 94 pitches, and that's really what it was. It wasn't necessarily about bad performance. It's at 94 pitches. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits. Gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 5 walks. That's really what elevated the pitch count. Because if you think let's say, a few of those were outs or, 2 less pitches and, they get a hit or something, could have extended the outing for Rodriguez, but sadly it just didn't. And then the 7 strikeouts also helping raise the pitch count. But I mean, it's a good line. You will take it. Orioles did make moves. I think I mentioned this, that Means went on the IL and Heasley was recalled, so had some help in the bullpen. Coulomb comes on in the 6th inning in relief of Rodriguez. Not 100% sure this is the best outing I've seen Danny Coulomb throw, but man, 1 full inning pitch, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. Can't get too much better than that for an inning pitched. You really can't. Actually, you can't get better than that at all. Webb gets the 7th inning. The full inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. All right, so in comes Mr. Heasley in the 8th inning. Wheels kind of came off. Thought maybe you had a big enough lead and you could put Heasley in here. Ugh. Wow. Does end up pitching the full 8th inning. Gives up 2 hits. Along with 4 runs, 2 walks. Doesn't strike anybody out. Was it a home run? It wasn't even a home run. That's a problem. Was it Sheets? Sheets had that. I don't know what it is about Sheets, but what's his name? Garrett Sheets or something. I can't remember. But his father, Larry Sheets, if I'm if I got my names correctly, played for the Orioles. I mean, I know that. Blanking on people's names. And Gavin, that's his name, Gavin Sheets. And for whatever reason, whenever Gavin Sheets plays the Orioles, I don't remember the history, like what happened with Larry Sheets and the Orioles, but it's almost like Gavin Sheets hates the Orioles because he kills Orioles pitching. And he did it again this series. It's almost like you get to the point where, okay, just don't pitch to him. I don't know. Because I don't know that anybody else was really doing anything. Okay, so here comes Cano. Try to get the save. Cano does get one out. But, he allows the 2 base runners. Because I told you there were 2 on there in the game. One was a hit. The other was it an error? No, I don't think it was an error. I can't remember how. How did the other guy get on? There you go. Hit by pitch. That's right. He hit the pitch. Oh, no, wait. Oh, no, Heasley started the inning. Really? Okay, Heasley started the inning. And Heasley with them. They got all the runs. Oh, they got all the runs in the ninth. Yeah, they got all the runs in the ninth inning. Guess I didn't realize that Heasley was still out there. He got all the outs in the 8th inning. Again, I mean, Heasley just... You can see it. Walk, single. Then Cano comes in, hits a guy. And then another single. I just... It's very odd that how many times the Orioles have been able to win a game this year, but without a Kimbrel or a Cano having to pitch. It's just... Can't do it. Of course, maybe don't put Heasley in there. I know, hindsight. I don't think I'd have gone to Heasley, but however. Cano struggled a little bit. Not a huge struggle, but Kimbrel was ready. Put Kimbrel in there, and he didn't pitch. He didn't throw that many pitches. How many pitches did he throw? 2 pitches. Kimbrel throws 2 pitches because of the interference call. I mean, however, Kimbrel gets his 10th save of the year. Let's get to game 2. We still got 3 more games to get through. Baltimore Orioles 6, Chicago White Sox 4. Little less late inning drama. Henderson 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Westberg hitting second here. Oh yeah. Adley Rutschman started on the bench. Wonderful. Love to see that. So Westberg hitting second, a hit and RBI, worked the walk, scored once. O'Hearn 2 hits and a run scored. Mountcastle back up in the order. A hit and RBI, also worked a walk. Santander over. Though did walk once and scored once. Hayes over. Kaiser pinch hit late. Over 1. Mullins over. Rutschman, I guess technically I said not that much late inning drama. This was actually it was like the 8th inning. 2 runners on for Rutschman, called on to get the pinch hit. Which, in this case, I'm totally fine with it. I like it better than a DH or him like hitting for McCann and then having to go in to catch. Because Rutschman's hitting for Mullins, and Rutschman's not going to play center field. So Stowers comes in for defensive replacement. So it's just an at-bat and a trip around the bases for Rutschman. I'm totally fine with that. And it worked out flawlessly because Rutschman drives in too. Stowers did not receive an at-bat. Disappointing. Really would like to see him get some It's more playing time. Mateo Ofer. Ugh. Just when I said so many nice things about Mateo. McCann a hit and a run scored. Mountcastle, O'Hearn, Henderson, Westberg doubles. Henderson home run. Hayes tried to steal, got caught. Another throwing error by McCann. Thankfully, it didn't factor into allowing a run to score. Corbin Burns with the start in this one, 6 innings pitched. Does give up 7 hits and 3 runs, which is terrible for 6 innings. 2 walks, which you'll take. You don't, much prefer less than 7 hits. 6 strikeouts. Very nice performance. Too many runs, but you'll take it. Cano, 1 in the 7th. I don't know, overuse or something. Here you go, Cano giving up runs. All right, he does get out of the inning, the whole 7th inning. 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, which is good. Strikes out 2. Mr. Vaughn hits a home run off Cano. Coulomb gets the 8th inning, does allow a hit, but no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Kimbrel in again for another save. What's going to happen here? Well, he pitches the full 9th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. This game, yes. This was a game. And it's odd because how many times with Kimbrel on the mound, has somebody hit a fly ball to Cowser? Well, it happened in this game. It actually happened in the game today. And it happened, a month or so ago in Kansas City. Well, this time, it wasn't a routine catch. Tommy Pham hits a ball, and he's looking at it. He's got it. He's got all of it. Well, he didn't quite get enough. Yeah, it was going to be over the wall, maybe about 2 feet over the wall. Well, Colton Cowser can jump 2 feet over the wall. Highway robbery. And yeah, you could see Cowser coming back in towards the infield, meeting up with Kimbrel, and Kimbrel just pointed at him and say, "You can keep that one." So, hey, if you want to throw it in the fountain, that's fine, but whatever. You keep that one. That one's your baseball. Fantastic play. A little bit of benefit for having Cowser because Mullins may be 6 inches shorter than Cowser, so I don't know if Mullins would have been able to jump that high, but he would have been camping there under it, so maybe he would have been able to climb the wall. All right, let's get to game 3, Saturday's game. Baltimore Orioles 5, Chicago White Sox 3. You can see all 5 runs scored in the 8th inning. Did I say no late inning drama? I must be remembering today's game. Yeah, I guess there was some late inning drama. I guess not 9th inning drama, but some 8th inning drama here. Henderson, Ofer, but he did walk twice. Rutschman, Ofer, but he did walk and score once. Ryno O'Hearn, 1 hit, 2 RBIs, a run scored. Hayes, pinch hit late, did get a hit. Mountcastle, a hit, a run scored. Santander, a hit, 2 RBIs, walked once, scored once. Cowser, Ofer, though he did walk 1 time. Westberg, 3 hits. 3 hits, an RBI, run scored. Stowers, 1 hit. 3 guys combining for the 9th spot here. Ramon Arias with 2 at-bats. Mullins with 1 at-bat. And Mateo with 1 at-bat. And nobody could get a hit. The late inning drama here is O'Hearn. Man gets on in front of... Was it Rutschman or... I don't remember if it was Rutschman or Henderson. But 2-run home run for O'Hearn. And then... Mountcastle gets on, and then Santander with a 2-run home run. And then, yes, Cowser gets out, sadly. Can't keep the party going of 2-run home runs, but that because Westberg hit a home run after him. So, those were the 5 runs. Don't know if I really understand it. It's like you can't get a hit or you got a few hits, like 2 or 3 hits for the rest of the game, but then in that one inning, 3 hits or home runs. How does it come in bunches like that? Odd, but I guess if you want to try to sweep a 4-game series, you're going to have to get lucky sometimes, you know? O'Hearn, Santander, Westberg home runs. There you go. But Suarez gets a start in this one, you know, because Means and now Kramer, yes, next starting pitcher to go on the injured list. This is Kramer's spot. Kramer's on the injured list. And, well, what do? You don't necessarily have a starting pitcher to call up from the minor leagues. A few other pitchers, and I'll get to that. Well, actually, I'll get to that in a little bit of somebody that came up. But, you know, with Irvin and Suarez being sent to the bullpen, with Suarez and Irvin being sent to the bullpen because Bradish and Means came back, I guess it is kind of nice to have them stashed on your roster because now they can come in and start for you. Only get through 4 innings with Suarez, mostly because he pitched as of this time, it was like 2 or 3 days ago, so didn't really want to push him too far. 4 innings pitched for Suarez, 2 hits, though it seems like you could have pushed him a little bit farther. No runs, did walk 2, struck 3 out. Great performance by Suarez. You're hoping that a guy like Keegan Aiken, who's coming in next, could give a little more length. Didn't work out that well. Because 1 2/3 of an innings pitched gives up 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, does strike out 2. You can see this triple right here. Yeah, bases loaded triple by Mr. Sheets. I'm telling you, he hates the Orioles for some reason. I might have to look that up. How did Larry Sheets end his time with the Orioles? It had to be bad. Had to be. Because otherwise, why does he hate it so much? Dylan Tate comes in and pitches 2 1/3 innings. That's right, I did say Dylan Tate. And that's right, I did say 2 1/3 of an innings pitched. So what would this be? The 6th inning? He does get the last out of the 6th inning and then pitches the 7th and the 8th. Wow. Never thought I would see that kind of length out of Dylan Tate, but it was only 22 pitches. Yeah. I don't know if I really remember Tate throwing that much of a sweeper. I do remember a little bit of 2-seam or sinker. Wasn't really aware that his sweeper was that badass, I guess. Because he was getting a lot of whiffs on it. And that's something that they talked in the post-game show. Like, Rutschman noticed the inability of the White Sox hitters to get on that pitch. It's like, just keep throwing it. So 2 1/3 innings pitched for Tate and no hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Well, welcome back to the show, Dylan Tate. Way to tell Brandon Hyde and Mike Elias, hey, don't send me back down again. And with the amount that, getting their names, Kimbrel and Coulomb and Cano have pitched in the previous 2 games, don't have use of them this night, Saturday night. So who do you turn to? Cionel Perez. Well, there you go. Cionel Perez pitches the 9th inning, gets his first save of the season. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. There you go. That's how you got to do it. Next man up and all that stuff. That's exactly what that is. Let's get to today's game. Yeah, not as much late inning drama. Or is it score 2 in the 6th and that's all they would need? I wouldn't necessarily consider that late inning drama. So this game 4, Baltimore Orioles 4, Chicago White Sox 1. Maybe a little late inning drama for the White Sox trying to come back again. Westberg leading off. Mr. Lefty was on the mound. Mr. Crochet. A very nice pitcher. A very good performance. We were able to get to him a little bit. Westberg did strike out 3 times. You don't really like that at all from a leadoff hitter. You love the getting a hit and a run scored. You just would prefer it not be strikeouts, you know? Rutschman, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, a run scored. Mountcastle, just 1 hit. Henderson, moving down to the cleanup spot. Well, it doesn't look like he likes the cleanup spot that much because Ofer did work a walk, struck out 3 times. Of course, the Orioles struck out a lot today. We know they won. Scored 4 runs. Santander, no hits, did walk once, also struck out 3 times. Mullins pinch ran for Santander's walk. This was somewhat late in the game, and Mullins was able to come around and score. Well, that's what speed does for you. Hayes, no hits. Mateo, 1 hit, also worked a walk. McCann, no hits. Did get an RBI, though. Cowser, a hit, an RBI, a run scored. Also struck out 3 times. Orioles struck out 16 times total. You don't win too many ball games when you strike out 16 times. But they did today. Mountcastle, Mateo with a double. That's right. Mateo had this. I didn't think that the ball was really hit deep enough. It was hit to left field, and the left fielder had to go towards the line, but it didn't get past him. Mateo got all that speed, and he's got some pretty fancy moves. Like, I think he could get 200 sacks with a swim move like that. Sliding into second base. He's got his left hand out. So that's what, the second baseman is trying to tag. Well, he pulls it back and gets the right hand up on the base. Wow. Again, that's how you got to do it. I mean, if you know you got the speed and you know you got a pretty good swim move, sliding on dirt. Just weird to call it a swim move. Okay. Get that other hand in there when they're going after the other hand that you pulling away from them. Rutschman, Cowser with home runs. Mateo, Mullins, each with a stolen base. Mullins is probably happy he's finally taking the lead from Mateo. Mullins has 11 on the year. Mateo has 10. Henderson actually with a fielding error in this game. Luckily, it didn't really amount to anything. Playing somewhat deep at shortstop. Ground ball, pretty much right at the shortstop position. Henderson may have been playing more up the middle. So he comes in really trying to circle the baseball. Get your momentum going towards it and the first base at the same time, and just kind of took a funky hop and missed it. I didn't think his shoulders were necessarily squared up on the baseball, because that's usually what, at least when I was going through Little League, I was taught to try to do. That way, if the ball does kick up and have a weird hop, your body's in front of it, right? It hits your body and doesn't go past you in the left field. I mean, again, he was on the move, so should it even been called an error? Maybe. I honestly don't know. But it's disappointing because you see him make so many good plays, and then you get one of those plays like that, and you're like, what you doing out there, man? Talking like that's a play that he practices. So I don't know why he's not practicing squaring himself up on the ball, but I mean, because that's not what they're teaching these days. However, times have changed. I'm almost 40, so teaching different ways of fielding by now. Kyle Bradish gets to start in this one. I understand why Bradish went so long, but 103 pitches, it's just seems risky, right? Means is down, Kramer's down, Wells is down, and Bradish has some kind of whatever is going on with his elbow. I don't know that I really want him throwing 103 pitches. But the problem is he was pitching so well. You see this 7 innings pitched, you see a big old fat 0 in the hit column. Yeah. Yeah. Really why he stayed out there as long. But, I mean, 103 pitches. So, yeah, no hits, no runs. Did walk 4. So, not a perfect game, but was throwing a no-hitter. 11 strikeouts. Well, he had to be that good because Mr. Crochet over there goes 6, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 11 strikeouts himself. And sadly, Danny Coulomb has the only blemish for Oriole pitching today. Gives up a 1 hit, 1 run, being a solo home run. Though he does get 1 strikeout. So Coulomb gets the first 2 outs in the 8th inning. And here comes Cano to get the last out of the 8th inning. So Coulomb, in his 2 outs of the 8th inning, I said that, right? 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, 1 strikeout. Cano, I don't even remember what he did. What did he get? Cano got a flyout in 6 pitches. Again, you see the 0 hits here. Kimbrel on for his 12th save. Wow. Uh-oh. Kimbrel, again, he's already pitched 2 games this series. He's over the hill. He's washed up. His back is hurting him. We're going to lose this game. You can see the zeros there as well. 12th save of the year, now tied with Kenley Jansen for whatever, what do they got, 429? I think they're sharing 5th and 6th. 1 full inning pitch, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Somewhat back to form for Kimbrel. Don't know what was going on before, but 3 saves in this series, though I don't know how much you're going to be counting on him in the next few days. Maybe a little too much. Though, at the same time, only 13 pitches. What did he throw this night? 6 pitches in the second game of the series. First game of the series, where's he at? Where's he at? 2 pitches. So, Brendan Hyde mentions that you do have to think about the ups because they'll get up in the bullpen and they'll warm up, they'll throw around, and you X amount of throws out there. Not 100% sure how stressful it is, but again, probably not available for, at least tomorrow's game. It's disappointing. Let's get on to some of the articles. This one bit written by Rock Kubatko. What the hell? Okay, so all these articles written by Rock Kubatko. This is where I'm getting all the information from. A lot of it is the same information, but some of the corresponding moves, I guess. I'll just tell you that these 3 articles and where I'm getting this information from is coming from Rock Kubatko. So I mentioned Kramer put on the IL Saturday ahead of his start. Means also put on the IL in between the 2 series. So Heasley was recalled to replace John Means on the roster. Well, after the game run of the Chicago series, you saw Heasley give up a bunch of runs. So Heasley gone. Kramer on the IL. You got 2 spots open. Vespi returned, and that's how Dylan Tate got back up here as well. Didn't see Vespi this whole series, which is slightly odd, but you put Heasley in there, you see what happened. Some updates too. Tyler Wells is beginning a throwing program, so it does appear that the inflammation has gone down enough and Wells can begin throwing again. One of these, I think it was this one. Rock Kubako talks about the Means thing. They got the test, and it was something about the strained forearm, much like it was early in the year. But as Rock mentions, John Means is seeking a second opinion. And again, what Rock says is, good news doesn't get questioned. You know, you don't get a second opinion if there's good news. So, this is bad news. It's not good at all. Though we don't exactly know what it is, it's probably not going to be good, because you're not going to get a second opinion if it's like, oh yeah, you're fine, it's just a strain. Don't know. Everybody looked, when we saw John Means pitch last, it looked like it was an elbow thing, but apparently it's a forearm strain and you feel it in your elbow. That's what I was told, which just sounds weird. Okay, however. So hopefully, Kramer he's on the IL with triceps. Tricep was it a bruise or strain? The right tricep strain. Okay. All right, let's wrap this up. A little bit longer of a video, 4-game series. I guess we'll do that. You see, Boston. Wait, are we at Boston? We're in Camden Yards. That's right. I'm going to the game Tuesday. Boston Red Sox coming into town, and we are going to have this 1:00 game Monday. Yay! Okay. So Monday's game tentative for 105. You don't know with weather this time of the year. You know, spring into summer, lots of rain can happen at times. Tuesday's game scheduled for 6:35. Wednesday's game scheduled for 6:35. Off day Thursday. Hooray me. That is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Stay tuned for Thursday for the next edition, and I will talk about the series between the Boston Red Sox coming in the Camden Yards to play the Baltimore Orioles. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.